إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد. طيب إخوان وأخوات. طيب, which companion they called Qatilul Jinn, was killed by jinn? Sa'ad ibn Ubayd. Sa'ad bin Ubadah. MashaAllah. طيب, who was the leader of Khazraj? Do you remember? No? Khazraj? Leader of Khazraj?
Sa'ad bin Ubadah.
Sa'ad bin Ubadah. Who was the leader of Sa'ad bin Mu'adh, leader of which tribe? Aus, yeah. Who are the Ansar? Ansar, ya akhi.
The helpers.
They built upon by what? Which two tribes?
Aus and Khazraj.
Aus and Khazraj. MashaAllah. طيب, Sa'ad bin Ubadah was known as the one who was killed by jinn. Okay. Good, inshallah. طيب, we covered this. The Sa'ad bin Ubadah, he was killed. What happened to him? Who can enlighten on that? What happened?
I think he was relieving himself, and then it was like in a hole, and then a jinn killed him, and then like that's why you're not meant to relieve yourself in a hole, but you should make the dua, Allahumma inni a'udhuka min al-khubuthi wal khaba'ith, with the jinns and holes.
Sa'ad bin Ubadah went out to relieve himself, and they found him dead. Okay, so the ulama bring in a connection between that incident and a hadith of narrative Qatada, Abdullah bin Sardis. Abdullah bin Sardis report the hadith. The Prophet said that he forbade us to urinate in a hole. What's wrong with urinating in a hole? What's wrong? What is the tafsir? Who gave Qatada gave that? Why is that?
That's where the snakes go in.
And the jinn reside. So they say Qatada died because of jinn. He urinated in a hole and he was killed by a jinn. Who said this? One of the Salaf said it. Muhammad bin Sirin. And Ibn Abdul Barr has a book on the life of the companion, and he talks about it. And Ibn Abdul Barr said that when Sa'ad bin Ubadah died, his body became green. A mysterious death he went through, Sa'ad bin Ubadah radiallahu anhu. One of the leader of Khazraj. So we mentioned some of the adab. When we urinate, we should not do that. One is that we should not urinate in a hole, because jinns are there, snakes are there, can harm you. What are the adab we mentioned? Do you remember? Adab, inshallah. Manners. We don't have to only go out, that is. We have to practice some of these. Do you know any adab, the rules that attribute and good manners of relieving yourself outside your house, in a bush, or in outside countryside or something like that?
To use your left hand.
Okay, that's anyway. If that were in the house, outside the house, you have to use your left hand to clean yourself. Give me some adab when you go out to relieve yourself. What are the adab Prophet did?
To relieve yourself.
Yeah. Urinate or whatever.
You should make sure that there's like people aren't around you. It should be safe.
Should hide
away
yourself.
from everyone, yeah.
Should hide yourself. The Mughira bin Shu'bah hadith. You hide yourself so people don't see you, inshallah. Yeah. To go behind the bush. طيب, can we urinate standing up?
Some opinions that say that you can, some say you can't, depending on the situation.
Depends on the situation.
If you urinate sitting down, splashes could go on, and similar if you urinate standing up, splashes could go on the floor.
Okay, so Aisha said, if anyone tells you that Prophet urinated standing up, don't accept it. How would you understand that one?
She only, because she was in the house that she was living with the Prophet. That's all she saw. She saw Prophet sitting down. But with Prophet outside, she wouldn't know.
No. But there's the hadith. Hudayfa, I saw Prophet urinated standing up. I was listening to Sheikh Khamis, Sheikh Uthman Khamis, and he goes, regarding urinating standing up, he goes, the adab of the Arab is to urinate standing up. That's the adab. And that's what Ibn Hajar said. And Prophet was urinating standing up, and the Arab said, look, Muhammad is urinating standing up. But that's the adab of the Arab. And this is it's not, I know we were taught back home that shaitan urinates standing up, don't do that. But it's not the case, that's wrong. Because Prophet did stand up urinating, based on the situation, we do that, So you can urinate standing up, no doubt about it. So what Aisha said was in the house. She didn't know the news outside. Alhamdulillah, that's good. Tayyib. So we covered all this. I forgot to ask you those questions, mashallah, if you still remember them. What does this hadith mean? اتقوا لعنين قالوا ما اللعنان يا رسول الله. Fear the two cursed. And this word, Ya Rasulullah, what are the two cursed? What are they? Give me one, inshallah. No time to look at the note. You'd have it.
Oh, the one who holds his private part with his
No. That's not the cursed one. No. Sa'id? لا. قد أخذنا هذا. يعني we've taken this is مراجعة الآن. أخي, do you remember the لعنين? No? This is about 2-3 weeks ago. Go on then.
To urinate where people like walk past.
Okay, to urinate on the pathway. That's one. Second one, do you know from your knowledge or anything? Go and look at it.
In still water.
La.
Is in a place with cracks and holes.
La.
I know the hadith is an-namim or something.
La, not namima. في ظلها, in a shade. Okay, so what does the hadith mean that you don't urinate in the two cursed place because people will curse you? Don't urinate there. People use this for pathway. You can't urinate. It's haram. Other harm. And to urinate where people look for shade and things like that. Back home you see this. They sit under a tree for shade. And it's a public area. You can't urinate there. It's haram. That's the pathway and place where they seek for shade. It doesn't mean the place will curse you, the people will curse you. Because they will curse you. So we sit here and you're urinating here. We sit here and we relax, our ghetto area, and urinating it. We have a coffee here and all that. And what is this? No, back home we have places that every day, dry season, every day they're going to sit there and they relax and they just talk. For you to go urinate there, it's not allowed. That's la'anin means the people will curse you.
So it's not Allah's curse.
No, the people. Prophet said people are going to curse you, and you can be sinful in the sight of Allah as well. You can be, because the place are used by the public. You're going to be putting other harm and imatatul adha anit tariq. You should be removing the adha, but you're putting it. Same principle applies pond. When we covered that if you were to urinate in a pond where everybody use it, then Shaykh Ibn Uthaymeen says then it's haram for you to, because then you can spread. Contaminate the area, the water. So alhamdulillah, covered this. And what else did we cover? Who was that slave? Used to be a servant of Rasulullah. Do you remember? Anas bin Malik. How many years did he serve Prophet? 10 years, mashallah. So in Medina. Where is he from? Ansar or Muhajir?
Ansar.
From Ansar, naam. From Khazraj. MashaAllah. Yeah, so 10 years he served Prophet of Allah. طيب نبدأ إن شاء الله. عن عبد الله بن عباس رضي الله عنهما قال مر نبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بقبرين فقال إنهما لا يعذبان وما يعذبان في كبير. Hadith narrated by Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu. He said that we were walking with Prophet and we passed to a graveyard. And he said those two graves, people inhabited in these two graves of the inhabited are punished. And they're not punished for something big. أما أحدهما فكان لا يستتر من البول وأما الآخر فكان يمشي بالنميمة. So the two persons who getting punished, Prophet has explained to us what are they getting punished for. One did not do istinja properly. The second one is he would spread namima. We cover one by one inshallah. Let's talk about Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu first. Now Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, one of the greatest companion, and he's given the title of Hibrul Ummah or Tarjum al-Quran, meaning that he's the translated the Quran, the explainer of the Quran. Abdullah ibn Abbas was the direct first cousin of the Prophet ﷺ. So Abbas and Prophet's father Abdullah, they're blood brothers. Same mother, same father. Okay? And Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu was a young companion. And he mashallah, he memorized Quran very early age, and he was known for seeking knowledge. And he would sit with the big companion when he was young. So Abdullah ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu would sit with Muhajir and Ansar. Ibn Abbas will come in, Abdullah ibn Abbas will come in, and he will say to them, he's very young, and he looks, remind you by your children, let me test you. So he pulled him, and he told the old Sahabas in age, do you know the tafsir of this surah, إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحُ? They all made a mistake. Abdullah ibn Abbas got it right. So he's trying to say, you might be young, but he excelled you in the knowledge. So Prophet made dua for him. And the dua is this. One of the dua is that not only Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu, he would serve Prophet, Ibn Abbas did once, or many times. One of the cases, the Prophet came out from the toilet, he relieved himself, he came out, he found the water ready for wudu. And he said, who did this? Abdullah ibn Abbas. So he made dua, Allahumma faqhu fi din. Oh Allah, give him the understanding of the deen. The another narration said, Allahumma faqhu fi din wa allimu ta'wil. Oh Allah, give him the understanding of the deen and give him the understanding of tafsir of the Quran. So that dua was answered by Allah Azza wa Jal. So very young age, he will give tafsir of the Quran, and he will amaze the people, and he would, mashallah, he will have an effect on people's heart. As I've said, that he loved knowledge, he loved seeking knowledge. And Abdullah ibn Abbas, he will go to the companion, big companion, Umar ibn Khattab and others, he will spend the night outside the door. He will stay there until they come out to seek the knowledge, to study under them. And he will not get tired, Allahu Akbar. No fatigue or anything, very enthusiastic to learn the knowledge. And they would ask him, how did you attain your knowledge? Ya Abdullah ibn Abbas. He will say, he said, أدركت العلم بلسان سؤول وقلب عقول وبجسد غير ملوم. That's what he said, Abdullah ibn Abbas. He said, I've attained my knowledge with a tongue which asks questions, with a heart that comprehends, with a body that does not complain. So when you seek knowledge, that's how it is. You're going to get tired. You have to have a tongue will ask the mashayikh questions, but different masail, different issues. So Abdullah ibn Abbas was like that. That's the way he attained his knowledge. And not only that, Abdullah ibn Abbas, mashallah, he was respected, he was loved by the companions. He had nur on his face because of the worship of Allah, the taqwa and everything. Was Ata radiallahu anhu, he said, Wallahi, نظرت إلى الشمس في ليلة البدر إلا ذكرت عن وجه عبد الله ibn Abbas. He said, by Allah, I looked at the moon in the middle of the night. And the moon are very bright, isn't it? I looked at the moon, very, very bright, except he reminded me the face of Abdullah ibn Abbas. But Abdullah ibn Abbas was abiyad. He was bright, he was white, fair skin. So when he looked at the moon, he goes, Allah, he reminded me of Abdullah ibn Abbas' face. So Abdullah ibn Abbas, known as Hebrew Quran, Hebrew Ummah. Hebrew means, in English we say monk or rabbi, but here means the ulama, scholars of this ummah. And he's the tarjum al-Quran, which means he's the translator of the Quran, interpreter of the Quran. And this is also given to Abdullah ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu. So we can read about Abdullah ibn Abbas, inshallah, and and benefit from his seerah, inshallah. طيب. مرة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بقبرين. So Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu narrating story to us now, that they were walking with Prophet of Allah and the path came to this grave, Al-Baqi'. Some of the narrations which said the two persons in the grave were mushrik, but the ulama make the hadith da'if. It's actually two believers. Two believers were in this grave. And Prophet explained, إِنَّهُمْ لَيُعَذِّبَانِ. There's a narration عذابا شديدا, severe punishment they're facing. So another narration said that. So they are getting punished, and they're not getting punished for something big. Something small they're getting punished for. Yeah, and it was difficult to practice, you know. So he explains now, وَأَمَّا الْأَحَدُهُمَا فَكَانَ لَا يَسْتَتِرْ مِنَ الْبَوْلِ, that the first person who getting tortured is the person who did not clean himself from urine. Now, we know that another hadith says, تَنَزَّهُ مِنَ الْبَوْلِ إِنَّ عَامَّةُ الْعَذَابِ مِنَ الْقَبْرِ مِنْهُ. Prophet said that clean yourself from the bowl, from the urine. Indeed, the most of the punishment that happens because of not cleaning yourself. Okay, so this person getting adhab from the qabr because he did not clean himself. So the najasa has gone onto his clothes and onto his body. And the ulama mentioned this hadith because of the importance of this hadith, because the tahara is part of salah, it's condition of the salah. So Prophet ﷺ is informing the companions that this person getting tortured because he did not do istinja properly. A lot of people are negligent, subhanAllah, even the Muslims, you know. We have a toilet in this country, you do standing at service stations, sometimes they work as well. They urinate, they don't do istinja. They just go khalas, subhanAllah. Not to do istinja is a major sin. Because of the scholars say, because you're getting tortured specifically for this act. And this is to show that Allah is punishing a person because of his major sin. So if someone were to not clean himself and he just leaves it, then this will leave najasa on his clothes and everything, and that act is a major sin itself. So the person is getting tortured because of not relieving himself properly, cleaning himself from urine. And we covered the chapter anyway, how to clean ourselves. It's very important. Prophet could have walked away, but he stopped. He stopped because he heard the adhab. He heard the adhab of the qabr, and he stopped. The companion didn't hear it, he heard it. And Prophet, the Rasulullah, and Allah gave him the tawfiq to listen to it. So one of the adhab is that if you don't clean ourselves, then the adhab of the qabr, you'll face that. The second person was punished because of namima. Now, what is namima and what is ghiba? And namima is from the word namma. Namma means the one who walks, he takes the khabar and he spreads the khabar. Tell carrier basically. Al-ghiba is the one, from the ghiba is from the word ghaba, yaghibu, yastatib, yaghtab. Yaghtab means from the word ghiba means that you talk about a person who's not in front of you, he's absent. As Hadith Abu radiallahu anhu, he said, أتدرون الغيبة؟ قالوا لا يا رسول الله. Do you know what ghiba is? They said, no ya Rasulullah. He said, ذكر أخاكم ما يكره. Okay? To remember, to talk about your brother behind his back, which will dislike. Okay? So ghiba is major sin. And how do you know it's major sin? Because there's another hadith of Prophet ﷺ that, you know, when he went to Al-Mi'raj, and he saw a group of people who were getting tortured. Okay? And these people had nails made of, silver. What's hadith? Metal, iron. And they were basically scratching their face and their chest. Okay? They're scratching their face and they're scratching their chest. And the Prophet said that, why is this happening? They said because they fall into ghiba. They fall into ghiba, talking people behind their back. Okay? They enter the honor of the brothers. They were eating the flesh of their brothers. So the ulama says, ghiba is a major sin, no disagreement on that. The ulama says it's a major sin because of the adhab they're going through. Indicate that it is a major sin. So when adhab is attached to an action like this, it is a major sin. Also namima also major sin. Okay? And the hadith of Prophet ﷺ, he said that, لا يدخل جنة النمام. The namam will never enter Jannah. Shows that it is a major sin because Prophet ﷺ negates Jannah for the namima. Okay? And this negation of Jannah doesn't mean they're kuffar. They will enter Jannah, but after the adhab of Allah Azza wa Jal. After the adhab. طيب. So these are two differences between al-ghiba and namima. Now are we allowed to do ghiba? Are we allowed to backbite? Islamically, it's haram to backbite, but there's certain time Imam Nawawi mentions in his Riyadh al-Salihin that there are times when we can do ghiba, when we can backbite, a talk behind somebody in his absence. Okay, the first reason is that to complain to a qadi or the judge or even to the family of someone who is harming the public or harming himself, harming the people, whatever way he's harming them. He's allowed for him to go give the complaint to the parents or the qadi or the judge or the hakim to bring him down. Okay, for the greater maslaha for the public. So you can go to a qadi and backbite about someone. Okay, he's doing harm to the people, whatever harm it is, you can backbite, inshallah. Secondly, type of backbite is to backbite by a brother for greater maslaha, which is to bring him to the khair, to make him leave the sin, bring him to ta'ah. So Allah said, وَتَعَوْنَ بِرِّ وَتَقْوَى, cooperate in righteousness and piety. So this is part of it. You're cooperating with the brothers to bring that brother back to the worship of Allah. If you know a brother disobeying Allah, committing sin, falling into fahisha, you speak to a brother, you trust him, a group of brothers, look, this brother is doing this, committing these sins, let's work together and bring him to worship Allah, to practice the deen of Allah. So that is the backbite here, but this backbite is allowed for greater maslahah. You also can backbite against Ahlul Bid'ah, against Ahlul people of innovation, to warn against the innovation, or the sinners, the fortune tellers, the corrupting the society, the drug dealers, the corrupting the people. You can warn against them, backbite against them, inshallah. This is shar'an, this is allowed. Okay, this is allowed for greater maslahah. So that's another reason why we can backbite. You also can backbite in marriage. In marriage you can. So proposal comes, the Prophet did once. Proposal comes, you have to warn. If you know that if the proposal comes and you know the brother is not good, or the opposite bride or the groom, one of them are not good, you have to speak out. Okay, you have to warn against that evil, because he or she might marry that person and then they realize, subhanallah, what is this? So if the sister is good, the proposal comes, the groom, the groom is very bad, doesn't pray, a drug dealer, a magician, whatever, then you have to warn against that brother. You can say, oh, he's a good brother, nice brother, I can't backbite. No, you go backbite here. If you don't backbite, you're sinful. You have to warn against the sin. Because what if the sister marries that person and they realize the shar, that person is an evil man? So Prophet did that as well. When a proposal came and Prophet said to the lady that he is a person who carries stick, he beats people. The Prophet did backbite the person because it was time to backbite, About one of the companions, I can't remember the name of the companion, but Prophet did backbite and told her that this is how he is. Reality, that's how he is. And Prophet backbited the person. This is allowed in that situation. So don't forget about that, inshallah. So you shouldn't fear that, I'm backbiting, because now it's time to backbite. People need to know the hal of that person, hal of the sister and the brother, the situation, the situation, how they are. So these are some of the cases when we can backbite, as Imam al-Nawawi mentioned in Riyadh al-Salihin. Tayyib. Now, having read about this, what do we learn from this hadith? What do we learn? Let's continue this, inshallah. So we spoke about al-ghiba and namima. We explained what they are. what the Prophet did, فأخذ جريدة رطبة فشقها نصفين فغرز في كل قبر واحدة. So Prophet took the jarida, he took the leaf or small part of a branch of tree or leaf, which ratba is moisture, wet, and he ripped it and he put them in both graves. The two leaves, and he put them on the grave. And they were ratba mean the moisture, yeah? فغرز, he planted them in each of the grave. فقالوا يا رسول الله لما فعلت هذا? They said, well, Ya Rasul, why did you do that? They want to learn. This shows that they have eager to learn, know the khair, to have the knowledge of the deen. They ask, فَاسْأَلُوا أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ, ask people knowledge if you don't know. So they ask Prophet of Allah, why did you do that, Ya Rasulullah? He said, لَعَلَّهُ يُخَفَّفْ عَنْهُمَا مَا لَمْ يَيْبَسَا, that maybe that will reduce their punishment until it becomes dry. When it becomes dry, then it will not. And longer the leaves is wet, moisture, it will make the punishment go lower. Now, can we take this hadith now, what Prophet ﷺ did, and start doing for our relative and Muslims? Shanqiti explains this, Sheikh Shanqiti explains this, Muqtar Shanqiti from Medina, one of the Kibar al-Ulama. I'm reading his sharh as well. He said, this is khas for Rasulullah ﷺ. This is specifically for the Prophet ﷺ. Which man can go down the maqbara and say, this person gave again punish? You can't. You can't say that. Haram. La yajuz. Prophet spoke from revelation. Allah revealed to him, made him hear the punishment of the grave. And he heard it. He heard the adab. And he did that. So the illah was, Prophet did it because the two persons getting punished. He put it. How can you use that hadith now? Say, I'm going to do it now. How do you know he's getting punished? You can't use it. You can't do that. It's khas for the Prophet. We're not allowed to do that. And in fact, the ulama says this act is a bid'ah. This act is not allowed. For you to put it there, it's innovation. To put the leaves. And a lot of people, they do that. Maybe based on this hadith. But this is not the understanding. It's wrong understanding. Prophet did it because he heard the adab. No Sahaba heard it. He heard it. After the death of the Prophet ﷺ, no Sahabas will put leaves on the grave of the other grave of a believer. Because what are you trying to say? Are you putting the leaves because punishment will be lessened? So he's saying the person getting punished in the grave. How did he get punished? This is what you're trying to say. Nobody can say so and so is getting punished in the grave. No, there was a fatwa going when the Elizabeth, the queen, when she died, okay, actually it's only for the Muslims, but even the kuffar you can't say it. You're not allowed to say a kafir, even Elizabeth who died, the queen, you can't say she's going to go hellfire. You can't say it. It is not allowed, because large enough fatwa, I've read it, it is haram. Only people who's mentioned in the nusus, in the text, these are the kuffar will go to hellfire. Abu Jahl, Abu Talib, Fir'aun, because the ayah specifically mentioned that they're going to be in the hell. So you can't say a Muslim kafir who died, Ahlul Nar, because it is for Allah. Leave it to Allah. Only Allah knows.
I thought, when you go past the kafir graveyard, you say that hadith abshiru bin nar.
Yeah, that's a general statement, isn't it? Generally we say they're kuffar, but you cannot specify it. You can't make a muqayyid. That person has gone to the hell. But generally, yes, in the Quran, generally kuffar in the hellfire. Okay? We know that. General statement. We can say general statement, the one who doesn't pray is kafir. You can't specify it. Understand? So if you say Queen Elizabeth going to go to hell, we're specifying the name now. That person. That's after you can say it because you're going to go to hell. But when I read the Lajna Fatawa, I said you can't do that. You can say generally, yes, but you can't say specifically. You might find it strange, but that's the Fatawa of the ulama. So we do a Muslim now. Okay? This act only for the Prophet. If you're going to put the leaf on the grave, you're indicating that the person getting punished. Because the reason was Prophet put it for the punishment to be reduced. And he knows, he was informed by Allah that they're getting punished. It's only for Allah, Prophet to know this. Nobody else knows. If Allah doesn't tell Prophet, he doesn't know. He can't tell. Prophet cannot say, this person getting punished in the grave, this man is Ahlul Jannah. He can't say that. Only what he is informed by Allah. That's the only one Prophet knows. طيب, so we clear with this, inshallah. So Prophet was told by Allah that they're getting punished. He stopped the companion. He told them these are the reasons they're getting punished, to inform them the importance of cleaning ourselves, the importance of keeping away from namima, which is tell carrier. Now, what are the benefits we take from this hadith? إثبات عذاب القبر كما اشتهرت به الأخبار وهو مذهب الأكثر أمة. That it is established that the grave, punishment of the grave. It's established from the Quran and the Sunnah the punishment of the grave. We don't deny the punishment of the grave. To deny the azab al-qabr is major kufr. And we know the hadith of this hadith. We know the hadith, Allahumma inni a'udhuka min azabi jahannam wa min azab al-qabr, and the end of the hadith. So we seek protection from the azab al-qabr in that hadith. And also the hadith of Bara bin Azib, that when Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam described the person who dies and he's in the grave, the Malakul Maut, Munkar and Nakir comes. The believer, what does the believer says? Rabbi Allah, Islamu Dini, wa Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That when they asked, the Malaika Munkar and Nakir, when they asked them to a believer, who is your Lord? He said, Rabbi Allah. My Lord is Allah. What's your deen? Islam is my deen. Who is your Prophet? Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How do you know? I read the Quran, I believed it. The believer will be able to speak like that and able to answer it like that, and Allah will say, my slave has spoken the truth. Open the grave, and he'll be rewarded, obviously. And the next person, the hadith described the kuffar, and that the kuffar, when they asked, who is your Lord? He will say, ha ha ha. Ha ha is a sound of pain. He will say, ma adri. سمعت الناس يقولون فقلتها. I don't know, I heard people say, so I said it. So hadith says he'll be struck with a rod. Okay, he'll be struck with the rod on his head. He'll be punished until Yawm al-Qiyamah. So this is azab al-qabr. This hadith, long hadith of Bara bin Azib, he'll be tortured in the grave, the person. Also we have a hadith, Uthman radiallahu anhu, it says that every time he goes to the maqbara, he will weep so much, and the companion will say, Ya Uthman, how come when you come to the maqbara, when you come to the grave, you weep so much, you cry so much? He says, verily I heard, Messenger of Allah said that this is the first manzil, abode after this life. If you pass this, you pass the akhirah. If you fail this, you fail the akhirah. So because he was fearing the azab al-qabr. He was fearing the azab al-qabr. Uthman radiallahu anhu. طيب يا إخوان. So these are the evidences, the azab al-qabr. The next benefit, there's a hadith also, he says, أكثر عذاب القبر من البول. Most of the punishment of the grave are because of al-bawl, urination. They don't clean themselves from it. And Ibn Hajar says it's hadith sahih. Next one is, from this hadith, the benefit we take, تحريم النميمة بين الناس وأنها من أسباب العذاب القبر. That prohibitions of namima, tell carriers between the people. Okay? And this is the reason why the person getting punished in the grave. So this is, namima is a major sin as well. Also, the benefit, also, rahmatul Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam bi ashabihi wa harsihi ala ib'ad shar anhum. Now look at this. Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam he heard the azab al-qabr. He could have walked away, but he stopped. Okay? He stopped, and he said, let me help them much as I can. You know? So he put the leaves. So at least the punishment of the grave will lessen on them. So he wanted good for these people, mercy for these people. They're believers in the grave. So these are some of the benefits we take from this hadith, inshaAllah. So the two persons is getting punished because of not doing istinja properly, and the other person is a tail carrier, namima. Both are major sins. Namima, ghiba, major sin. Backbiting and tail carrier, major sin. Also, not cleaning ourselves properly, the adab for this is also major sin. طيب يا إخوان, Okay, let's take the next hadith quickly, which is the hadith السابع عشر, hadith 17. عن أبي رضي الله عنه عن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال لولا أن أشق على أمتي لأمرتهم بالسواك عند كل صلاة. Now, if you want the bird, the next chapter is on siwak. Now, let me translate the hadith first. Hadith is narrated by Abu radiallahu anhu. The Prophet said that if you were the burden for my ummah, I would have commanded them to use siwak before every salah. There's a narration before every wudu. Now, what is the benefit of siwak? Now, siwak, there are many hadiths about siwak. And Ibn Qudama, he said that siwak, using siwak, is consensus of the ulama, it is ijma', all the ulama agree that it is mustahab, it is recommended, except some of the ulama like Abu Ishaq ibn al-Hawai and Dawood, those two imam, they said that siwak is wajib, because they use the hadith alaykum bis siwak, upon you to use the siwak. The ulama said this alaykum mean encouraging you, to encouragement to use the siwak. It's not wajib, because the four madahib and other ai of the salaf and the khalaf, they say it is mustahab to use siwak, as this hadith also said. There are many hadiths, and as for siwak, there's no specific time to use the siwak. You can use any time. Hadith Aisha radiallahu anha in Sahih Muslim, she said that كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يبدأ بالسواك قبل دخول البيت دخول الدار. That Prophet ﷺ, he would start with the siwak before he comes to his family. So before he comes to his family, Prophet ﷺ would use siwak. He would purify his mouth before he goes to his family. In another hadith, Prophet ﷺ said that about siwak, that as-siwak huwa mathharatul fam wa mardatul lirab. The siwak purifies your mouth and it is pleasurable to Allah. Okay, it's pleasurable to Allah Azza wa Jal. So, if someone were to use miswak just for sake of using it, he can use it, sitting in the masjid, use it. And if you use it for sake of Allah, to seek the pleasure of Allah, alhamdulillah, you get the reward for it. You get the reward. Also, it purifies your mouth as well. Siwak. And then we'll cover some of the hadiths coming on siwak, inshallah. I don't want to take every hadith on siwak. So Prophet ﷺ will use siwak before, when he will do qiyamul layl, he will use siwak, and before wudu, things like that. So anytime you can use siwak, but use the appropriate area, and if you're sitting in a bus or train, try not to use it because it makes look funny. But yes, siwak you can use anytime, inshallah. Now, the scholars have discussed that to use miswak the right or the left. Some say you have to use the right because it's sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, because hadith of Aisha that كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يعجبه التيمن في تنعله وترجله وطهوره وفي شأن كل that. You know hadith we covered that Prophet would love to do things in right hand, with the right side, in terms of when he's putting shoes on, when he's combing his hair, or in purification as well. So they use this hadith to say you're purifying yourself, use the right hand. Some says no, use your left because you're removing an najasa from your mouth, impurity, so use your left. So the Shaykh Uthaymeen explained in others that when we use miswak, if you're going to do it for izalatu adha, to remove the adha, the impurity, then use the left. If you're going to use miswak just to practice the sunnah, use the right hand. Okay? Hadith says mathharatu lil fam wa mardatun li rabb. So if you're going to use it for purifying your mouth, to remove the adha and impurities, then use the left. Okay? But if you're going to do it just to do it for pleasurable to Allah, to make it, to practice the sunnah because it's pleasurable to Allah Azza wa Jal, make Allah pleased and everything, then we use the right hand. So this is the argument, the argument that's using it. So it's nothing enough to say you have to use the right hand. It's the understanding of the scholars that derived from the hadith. You can use the right or the left. Inshallah, there's no problem with that. Some of the benefit we have taken from this hadith is that فضل الوضوء والصلاة مستعمل معهما السواك. This hadith shows the importance of using siwak at time of wudu. Okay, so before you make wudu, use the miswak, inshallah. It is sunnah, mustahab. So we get reward for that, inshallah. Secondly, إنه لم يمنع من فرض السواك إلا مخافة مشقة في القيام به. So Prophet ﷺ did not forbade or did not make it fard except because it's mashaqqa for his ummah. Showed the Prophet mercy for the ummah. Okay? Because deen is not difficult. So he said, because of that, I will not make it fard to use miswak. كمال الشفقة النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم بأمته وخوف خوف عليهم. So the next benefit is that the mercy of the Prophet ﷺ, compassion of the Prophet ﷺ for the ummah, because his burden he didn't make it fard. إن الشرع يسر ولا عسر فيه ولا مشقة. That the shara, Islam is ease, not difficult, not burden. And the hadith says that يسروا ولا تعسروا بشروا ولا تنفروا. Okay, that make it easy, don't make it difficult. Okay, bashiru, give good glad tidings to the people. Do not flee the people away. So deen is to make easy for the people. It's clear hadith. Prophet could make it fard on everyone, but he knows it's going to be burden to use the miswak. Prophet said, La, my ummah will find difficult. Look at the mercy of Rasulullah on his ummah, subhanallah. وأن درء المفاسد مقدم على جلب المصالح. This hadith we've covered about miswak has a qa'idah we learn from it. درء المفاسد, to push away the mafsada takes advance over gaining benefit. Okay, how is that? What is the mafsada? Burden. Okay, so the pushing away the burden became more important than getting the maslaha. What is the maslaha benefit? You're following the sunnah. Yani you are doing miswak to benefit. So that's little, but the greater is that mafsada. He removed it by not making fard. وهذه قاعدة عمومية نافعة جدا. This قاعدة general قاعدة. Okay, فإن الشارع الحكيم ترك الفرض السواك. الشارع, Prophet صلى الله عليه وسلم, which is Rasulullah صلى الله عليه وسلم, he did not make the siwak fard على أمتي مع ما فيه من المصالح عظيمة. So he did not make it fard having the great benefit in that. خشي أن يفرضه الله عليهم فلا يقوم به فيحصل عليهم فساد كبير. So here he said the khashi, fearing that if Allah to make fard upon them, they will not able to implement that, and they will get fasad, big fasad or difficulty on themselves. بترك الواجبات الشرعية. Maybe because of that they won't able to do other wajibat. So can you imagine that? So mafsada is mashaqqa, burden. Okay, maslaha could be that they just practice the sunnah, but because the mashaqqa burden is so much, that took importance over the sunnah benefit. So because of that is greater, Allah did not make it fard siwak. So dar'ul mafasid, pushing the harm, take the precedence over gaining benefit. Even though using miswak is a little bit sunnah you can implement, because the mashaqqa burden is higher, Allah forbade it. Rasulullah forbade it. Just because this little bit of benefit, I don't want my ummah to go through more harm. So that's the qa'idah we have learned from this hadith. So my brothers and sisters, miswak is mustahab, is recommended based on the hadith, and Ibn Qudama and the others said, and try and use it inshallah anytime you want. There's nothing wrong with that. Remember the hadith, and there are more hadith coming on miswak inshallah later on. Few more hadith. Okay, inshallah, ilahuna. I take the questions and other we'll leave it on. Jazakumullah khair. Any question, inshallah? Any clarification you mean to clarify, or everything is clear? MashaAllah, it's good. Good.
I have a lot of questions. The first one is, like for the proposal, you're allowed to backbite. So do you initiate it, or is it when you ask questions, then you...
No, you can initiate it.
So let's say I'm with a brother, and then we're going to the girl's dad, then he doesn't ask us, does he pray? But should I tell him before he asks, or he doesn't pray?
No, the backbiting here is that you initiate that. We said you can backbite regarding the people. What was it? You can go to Qadi, parents, or the Imam of the Masjid regarding certain people causing fasad, causing harm on the public. Bad man. Okay? If you say you know a parent, yeah? And you know his son is a drug dealer, magician, whatever. You can go and backbite, tell his father, look, your son is doing this. Okay? Harming the public, harming the community. You can raise it to the Imam of the Masjid. Look, he's the local masjid, local people affected by this man, this boy, okay, taking the people into drugs and harming them. One will lead to another. So you can, this is for the greater maslaha, for greater benefit. Yeah.
My example was, let's say the Prophet doesn't pray. And so
that's different though, that's different. That's between him and Allah. Yeah, you can advise him individually. If someone doesn't pray, you don't have to tell people he doesn't pray. That's between
tell people, tell the person he's about to get married too.
Oh yeah, that's we covered. We said yeah, you should do that. If the sister is practicing, she prays, okay, and the brother doesn't pray, then you have to tell them, isn't it?
And if the sisters they don't care, you don't have to mention it.
Now you tell the father. We just covered it. You tell the father, you backbite, tell this man doesn't pray 5 times a day. If you were to commit zina and you don't tell him, you didn't tell me you commit zina, but you're doing worse than zina, which is leaving the salah. Leaving salah is worse than zina. Okay? So you tell the father, let the sister know, the man you're going to marry doesn't pray 5 times a day. Do you want to marry him? No. If she's a practicing, she will say, no, I don't want to marry this man. I don't know if he's a Muslim. So the father should know that this person doesn't pray, at least. And if they want to continue, let them continue. But you can backbite. You can bring this up to the parents. Tell them, look, the person doesn't pray, doesn't practice the deen. You practice. You can't marry that person. So yeah, it has to be. If you go to ask Shaykh Ibn Uthaymin, Shaykh bin Baz, rahimahullah, you say, they can't get me, it's haram. La yajuz. Go on, akhi.
Could you mention the other 3 conditions which Imam Nawawi says is permissible to backbite?
Ahlul Bid'ah and things like that. People of innovators, you can warn against them. Okay.
No, because you said there's 7, but you mentioned 4. So
I can't remember the others.
okay.
So to complain
Yeah.
to the
Qadi. The one is that to bring a brother to khair. He's a sinner. You backbite to right people. This brother called Muhammad. He doesn't pray. He's into this this sinning. Let's cooperate. Bring him to the. He can. Maslahah is great. Benefit is great. So you can backbite, cooperate to bring him to the deen. Yeah.
It was the Nawawi. There was 3, and then the 4th one you mentioned. So to complain to a person of authority for the greater benefit of the maslahah of the public. To make the person leave the sin to bring him to the khair. Like for example, telling brothers about this person to help bring him to the khair.
Yeah.
Then that is against Ahlul Bid'ah, one against innovation.
You have to, yeah.
Fortune tellers, sinners, etc. And then the 4th one will come to marriage.
Marriage, yeah. The other ones are there. For example, if you have in a community a magician, yeah, fortune tellers, in your community, and he's calling people to that, you have to warn against him. You have to backbite. Tell them, look, Imam of the Masjid, whatever, this is the evil man. You have to, because if you don't, you're sinful. Because you enjoy good, forbidding evil. Yeah. So you have to warn against him, definitely, because he's affecting the public. Okay. When we don't warn against brother's sin, if he's committing sin secretly, he's not harming the public. It's between him and Allah. You can tell him, brother, ittaqillah, fear Allah, you should be doing this, and then leave it to Allah. Leave it to Allah, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum, ahsanallahu ilaykum. Do you need an intention to get rewarded for a sunnah action? As in, I'm doing this action specifically because it's a sunnah, barakallahu feekum.
Okay, do you need intention to do sunnah prayer for the reward? Everything.
Not prayer, a sunnah action.
Action, any action, yeah. Any action that is sunnah, anything that we do as ibadah, optional or wajib, we should have intention in our heart. And that I'm doing this for sake of Allah. Because إِنَّمَا الْأَعْمَالُ بِالنِّيَّةِ. Every action judged by intention. وَإِنَّمَا لِكُلِّ امْرِئٍ مَا نَوَى. And everyone will get what he's intended for. So based on this hadith, the ulama says, you have to have intention for any khair you do. I'm doing this for Allah. I am doing this for Allah Azza wa Jalla. Likewise, if you were to leave a haram, you would leave it for sake of Allah. But if someone to just leave it because I'm leaving because I don't feel like doing it, then you won't get the reward. But if someone leave it for Allah, Allah made it haram, you get the reward. So likewise, if you're doing any khair, if you're going to treat a brother, or if you're going to give a lift to somebody, if you're going to, these are all ihsan, good deed. If do it for Allah, I'm helping this person carry shopping, I'm doing it for Allah Azza wa Jalla. If you're just doing it, then the ulama say you won't get the reward. Have intention for Allah, to please Him. This is different between a righteous man, non-righteous man. A non-righteous man will just, out of his passion, he will say, let me help you, uncle, whatever. But the righteous man will do same thing, but he'll have intention, I want to do for Allah, I want to get the reward. I want to get the reward. So someone can say, I want to meet a brother, I just want to meet the brother, I haven't seen him for a long time. Some other brother will say, I want to meet the brother for sake of Allah. Okay? So, let me give you an example. The Salaf would say, أكياس الناس عادتهم عبادة والسفهاء عبادتهم عادة. They say that, this is saying of the noble people, not hadith. Okay? They say the clever people, noble people, the ada, custom become their worship. Custom is their worship. And for the sufaha, the foolish people, the ibadah become the custom for them. Okay? How is it? So the akiyas, the clever people, the smart people, the scholars, even the custom, they will do for the sake of Allah. So for example, I'm eating, yeah? Everybody eats. The scholar might say, I'm eating for the sake of Allah, so I become strong so I can worship Allah. So another person is eating, he just eats because it's halal for him to eat. But he's not doing to please Allah so he can worship Allah. So the second person not getting any reward. The first person getting all the reward. Okay? Someone may be doing exercise. He says, I'm doing exercise to keep myself strong so I can worship Allah. Second person, he does exercise. He just does his exercise just to get his abs and make him big muscle. And that's the khalas, nothing else. He's not going to get reward. See the difference now? The niyyah. There's a hadith of Prophet ﷺ that a person who goes to sleep with the intention of getting up Qiyamul Layl, but he doesn't get it, he doesn't get up, he'll get the reward of the Qiyamul Layl. His sleep becomes worship. But as the other person, he sleeps, I want to sleep, become tired. I'm just going to go for a nap. I'm just going to go to sleep. He's not going to get no reward. No sin, but no reward because he's not doing it for Allah. Okay? So, see, this is what it is. And the foolish people, ibadah become the custom. They fast month of Ramadan because if I don't, people are going to tell me off. After Ramadan, it's back to normal again. It's like a custom for them. They just do it for the sake of doing it. They don't change in their life. So, the smart people, the custom becomes ibadah because they do it for the sake of Allah. And the intention makes it ibadah. Okay? So that's what it is. So everything that we do, inshallah, any good deed, have intention for Allah. Okay? Even if you're eating, have intention, I'm eating to please Allah so I can worship Him more. Something like that. So, yeah, inshallah, so have the intention.
You mentioned the hadith about the Prophet placing their leaves on the grave. You mentioned two. Is that 2 leaves or is that 1 leaf in half?
Basically, he took a leaf and he shaqqa, he broke it.
So it's 1 leaf.
Yeah, he broke it, he halved it, yeah, and he put it on the both grave, and we know the illah why he did that is to release the punishment, inshallah. So that's what it is. That's what it is.
Let's say people use the hadith to say Prophet had ilmul ghaib. How would you?
Okay, the brother asked a question that what if the people use this hadith to the Prophet had ilmul ghaib? The Prophet doesn't have ilmul ghaib. Only what Prophet was told by Allah, that's what he had. Okay, so if he had ilmul ghaib, then why did he lose battle of Uhud? Why did he lose? If he had knowledge of unseen, then why did he lose battle of Uhud? You telling me he had knowledge of that and he lost? A'udhu billah. Prophet didn't know. That's my answer. So what Prophet told us about Akhirah, because Allah told him. Allah told him that. That's why he told us about what's going to happen, coming of Dajjal and what's going to happen. A lot of things that happened. The Prophet told us 1,500 years ago. Because Allah told him that. That's why he told us. So this one, Allah informed him of the adab of the qabr. Allah informed him. That's why he able to tell the companions. It doesn't mean he has knowledge of unseen, al-itlaq. He has the knowledge of unseen. No, he doesn't have knowledge of unseen. Rasul don't have it. Yadu billah. Only Allah has it. So you can't use the evidence to say his knowledge of unseen. No. You can't. That's because Allah just informed him at that time, but the two person in his grave. Nobody knows except Rasulullah. Also, when Abu Lahab died, his uncle, he was told the punishment of Abu Lahab. He made him hear. Abu Lahab was in the grave. He heard Prophet's voice. Have you been promised what? Did you get what Allah promised you in Jahannam? Because we are promised by Allah, and we were given that Jannah. So Prophet spoke to Abu Lahab while he was in there because Allah made him hear his voice. So things like this only for the Prophet of Allah Azza wa Jal. So Jazakumullah khair, Ikhwan. I think that should be enough for today. And we see you next week, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Inshallah. Wa alaikum salam.